Hi, this is the second blog of the day. After the first blog, I went into the bank to pay some taxes, and when I came out of the bank, my tyres on my car had been slashed. I'm pretty sure I know who it is. He was an ex-government official. Anyway, I went to get the tyre fixed, and I went out to the hot springs because another two boats came in. That makes 4 boats today. While we were out there, a lady come past, stopped her car, photographed me and Philippa a few times, then shot off into the hot springs. Later on she came back out, we stood by the road, she stopped her car and started screaming and shouting at us. And I said, "Are you Golden Dawn?" And she said yes. And twice she said yes about she's Golden Dawn, and she's really abusive. And she works in the hot springs, I found out later. The other lady the other day that was jumping down up in the road screaming to people, I put on one of my blogs. She also works in the hot springs. I mean, she was making all the children crying and everything, and she was screaming and shouting in the middle of the road when they just landed. Then we had a third woman come out this morning. We started giving water and stuff to the refugees coming in, and she comes right up to us with a big iPad, and she's filming us right in our face and everything else. And I said, "Are you Golden Dawn as well?" And she wouldn't answer me. Then she's pushing me in this thing in my face and everything else, and saying about the rubbish on the roads and everything else. And I said, we all have to clean up the rubbish, And she agreed and said she was a refugee and everything else, which I think is a load of rubbish. I'm not too sure. She may have been, but if she is, God, what's she doing? Anyway, these people in the hot springs, obviously they've admitted they're right wing, one of them, and the others are obviously fascists, and they make all their money from foreigners. Yeah. So, as I said before, we have to stop this. We have to stop putting money into these people's pockets. I think it'd be great if a lot of people can get in touch with the Mayor of Mytilene and ask that we have some people with hearts in the hot springs. Because one thing I know, a lot of people that come here, they don't want a massage or whatever by a fascist and a Golden Dawn member. I know that for a fact, and a lot of money is going to be lost here. Okay, so I'm going to cut this one short today. The pram that the gentleman brought me last night, I mentioned in my other blog, fantastic guy and everything else. It went to a big family, and the two youngest in the family obviously had a small child, and it's 2 weeks old. So they got the pram and they were absolutely over the moon. These people, when they got off the boat, they spoke to me in Greek. They're from the Greek suburbs of Aleppo, and they're third generation Greeks, the whole family. Yeah. So, we're helping all these people and everything else. Yeah. Anyway, when I got home, I was told that someone was in the police station, and that the people of the hot springs have made a complaint against me, saying I am stealing stuff off the beaches, engines and things like this, which is a load of rubbish, and that I threatened them, which also is a load of rubbish. Yeah? They threatened us and they intimidated us because we're giving water to refugees. Anyway, the outcome is I am not allowed to give any water or food or aid to any refugees on the Efteling beaches. So the 4 odd kilometres that I look after, and I've looked after all this time for the last years, I am not allowed to help the refugees anymore here. The police officer was very nice and everything else. He said, "Eric, you can help the refugees in Molivos, but not on the beaches here." And I said, "What about the road? Can I give them bottles of water off the road?" He said, "No." I said, "What about my wife?" He said, "No." Okay, obviously he's got orders from above. He was a very, very nice guy. He was a very, fair play to him. He didn't shout at me or anything. He was very calm and everything. He said, "It's a big problem, Eric. We have to solve it somehow." And he didn't know how. But he's got a bad job as well. He's doing the best he can. So I'm not allowed to film at all. I'm not allowed to film. I'm not allowed to give people water that need water. I'm not allowed to give people food. I'm not allowed to look after babies. I'm not allowed to help any injured people in the 4 kilometres of beach. And I live on this beach, and I'm not allowed on the beach. How bizarre is that? Yeah, just through these people from the hot springs, these fascists from the hot springs, they've got me banned from my own beaches because I'm a humanitarian and I'm looking after people. So these people in Molivos, these right wing and that, are destroying tourism big time, really big. Yeah, and it's got to stop. You know, and the government's got to get in here and they've got to stop this somehow. I don't know how you stop it, but I went down to get my tyre changed in Kalani today, and the roads, oh God, I was almost in tears. There's babies, there's children. It looks like something out of the Second World War. There's people walking everywhere. Poor bastards, God. You know, little children, and it's hot. And I see a couple of nice things. They stopped at a small... some builders there were doing like a walls for the front of a house, and there's a group of refugees there, and the builders were sharing their water. There's another garage outside Petra, a petrol garage, and they're giving the refugees water. You know, so many people along the way that I see when I went to get my tyres changed, and doing, you know, they're all there talking to them, helping them as much as they can, which is fantastic. Because if the right wing had their way, these people would starve, and these people would die. You know, and all hell would break loose here because these people have to eat and they would be stealing. You know, lucky enough the people of Greece are doing something. As for these people on top that are destroying Greece, they need to be sorted out. They really need to be sorted out. And it's down to the government to do this. Okay, thanks a lot. Bye.